Yeah, just welcome. It's another Saturday together. Another trip around the sun. Maybe, as Harry Carey would say, what's your favorite planet? Mine's the sun. That's a joke. Maybe we want to bring our Garuda mudra into our seat. So if you want to do that, it's the left palm facing the heart or facing the throat. And then that right thumb just hooks with the left. So it looks like if you're making that shadow puppet, okay? But the left palm is facing front and that right hand is behind it. And maybe bring it in front of your throat chakra. And then just let everything relax. And only if that's comfortable, bring that into your space and allow this to support us energetically in connecting to our breath. And our Garuda mudra inspires freedom. So maybe we're bringing some freedom into our movements today, some freedom into our space. And that Garuda mudra is left palm facing in and the right hand thumb hooking over it. So maybe feel some freedom in the hands. Can you let go of any effort, maybe in the fingertips? Now let's find some freedom in our breath. Just letting it be exactly as it is. Letting our practice today be exactly as it shows up. Maybe noticing the breath entering the body. And now bringing awareness to perhaps the outer edges of the body. Feeling those outer edges of the body against the air around the outer edges of the body. Now maybe staying with your Garuda mudra for a few more breaths. Or maybe if you're ready, placing those hands on the knees and maybe beginning to move that heart forward and around as if it were circling around the hips. Just some gentle movement, awakening the body. Imagine bringing that freedom into the movement. Maybe bringing awareness to the hips as we move forward and around. Maybe you just move forward and you make little half circles in front of the body. And maybe bring it back and you make half circles behind you. And then maybe you switch directions. Moving with the breath and letting the breath be here and really fill your body to the outer edges of the body. And now maybe let's come together in stillness. Maybe we find our Garuda mudra again, that left palm facing in, the right hand behind it, or maybe we find prayer or just rest the hands. And how about we open with an Om together? Let's exhale. And inhale. Exhale for home. Now maybe open up those eagle wings, arms coming out to the side. You can reach up and over if you want, and we'll make our way to our back. So maybe bringing those hands behind us, letting those hands support us and rolling down. Maybe some of you want to go right forward and find a savasana and float your boat down to your back. However you make it to your back. Once you get to your back, maybe find a happy baby. So hugging those knees in, soles of the feet to the sky. You can bring your hands to those hamstrings and just let the weight of the hands press those knees down. Maybe you bring your hands to the outer edge of the foot. Maybe those peace fingers find the big toe. However, brings you into your expression of happy baby. Let's be here for a few breaths. Maybe rocking side to side, or maybe finding stillness. Maybe noticing the backs of the legs open, or maybe noticing the shoulders, backs of the shoulders on the floor. Just being present, feeling that freedom of an eagle here. Where are we freeing up space? Now let's exhale. Maybe bring the feet together as we let go of the hands to the ground, feet up to the sky. And with those feet towards the sky, we're going to slowly lower down that right foot as if we're moving like a glacier. Keep the low back to the floor and just gently lower that right heel down to the ground. The whole right leg lowering down. And when that leg gets to the ground, maybe bringing the foot to the floor so the right leg is bent, the left leg is still to the sky. And now lower that left leg down, guys, really nice and slow with control. Noticing maybe the front of the body warming up just a little as we slowly, with awareness, lower down that left leg. When that leg gets to the earth, pause for a breath. And then exhale, bring that left foot in. So now both feet are on the floor, knees face the sky. We're going to move right into our bridge pose. So maybe finding that length. The heels can be close to the glutes or further away. The further away they are, the more you're going to feel it in those hammies. So find that spot, that foundation that feels solid for you. And then we'll breathe in. And then exhale, drive those hips up, pressing the feet to the floor. The glutes press through the hips. And we can inhale to lower. Let's go right back up. Exhale. Inhale, lower. Maybe bring the hands up this time. Exhale to rise. Hands come up. Pause at the top. Fingertips reaching behind, above the head. And inhale, lower palms, lower glutes. Exhale, drive up. Inhale, lower. Now on your own pace, you can pause at the top, pause at the bottom. Let's move through 3 more rounds of breath. Maybe you spend those breaths just static with the hips lifted. Maybe you move through a bridge flow for those breaths. Now once you get to the bottom, maybe you're already there. Pause. Maybe move those feet, wiggle the toes, draw the knees into the chest, a little apanasana. Maybe you lift the shoulder blades off the ground, the nose towards those knees, massaging that low back nice and easy. And now lower down those shoulder blades if they were lifted, so the entire back's on the ground. Bring those knees over the hips, the feet maybe in line with the ankles. And bring the arms out like a T. Now let's gently, with control, drop those knees over to the right, coming off the mat a little bit, a little twist. Gazing upward, or maybe you're gazing towards one of your hands. Now breathe into this twist. Breathe into the side of that right leg on the ground. Maybe it's not on the ground and it's on a block, or maybe your right fist gives a little support for the knee. One more breath in. Now let's exhale to draw the knees through the center. And maybe you pause in the middle, or maybe you roll right over to the left, those knees going over to the left side. Finding your twist on the other side. Oh, letting the breath go and letting the breath come into the body. Now one more breath in. Our exhale is going to bring those knees back to the middle. Let's inhale to extend the legs long. Maybe we let the feet separate, point and flex the feet. Just a few times, maybe roll some ankles. Maybe you kind of make some circles with that entire leg. So however you want to kind of free up those joints a little bit. Bring that into your space, bring that into your movement. Now on an exhale, lower those knees down. Let that right foot come to the ground. The left ankle is just below that right knee. So we're going to set up for our figure four. So this is our lying down pigeon, right? So we're going to fly our pigeon later, but we're going to land it right now. So with that right foot down, the left ankle below that knee, let's draw the legs into the chest. You can bring the right hand behind the hamstring. You can press that left knee away. Or maybe you draw everything in and even lift the shoulders off the floor. Maybe gently rocking side to side. You might notice that left glute opening a little bit. Breathe in. And now exhale, lower down that right foot to the ground. Bring that left ankle off, bring the point flex of left foot to the sky, and then lower that left foot down. Bring that right knee into the chest, and that right ankle coming to the top of that thigh, just below the knee, and then draw those legs in again. Hands behind the hamstrings maybe, or on that shin, wherever makes sense for you. Maybe your next breath allows some freedom into your space. Nice, guys. Let's lower that left foot down. Send the right foot to the sky. Point and flex the foot, roll that ankle. And then we'll lower down the right foot. And we'll exhale to roll over to one side. Our next exhale takes us over to our belly. And then on an inhale, bring those hands underneath the shoulders. Press up. Inhale up to plank. You can lower the knees, you can lift the knees. Now let's exhale back to our first downward facing dog in the morning, possibly, unless you've done some before you got here. But collectively, our first downward facing dog. Be here for 5 breaths, just breathing in that freedom into this space, this new shape. Slowly beginning our ascension. Coming off of the floor. Bring some freedom in through the palms on an inhale and exhaling out the soles of the feet. Now on your next inhale, let's look up with the hands and then make our way, our feet to the front of the mat. Maybe you step them forward. Maybe you walk your hands forward, little mini step after mini step. And once you get to the front of your mat, exhale. And then when you're ready, inhale to rise up. And then bring those hands to your side. Maybe you find your Garuda mudra with those wings in front of the throat. Ground through the feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now let's inhale, sweep hands up to the sky. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lift up to that Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Maybe hands on the thighs, heart hovers. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Chest reaching for the tops of the thighs. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Now inhale, step that right foot forward between the hands, lower that left knee down. You can hover over that thigh, or maybe you want to ascend like an eagle up off of the earth. Nice, guys. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. If you're not there already, curl the toes under. Send that right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. In and out with the breath. Now breathe in. Now exhale, lower down the knees, the chest, and the chin. Coming to our Ashtangasana, elbows to the sky. Now inhale, baby cobra, lifting the heart, thighs touch, tops of the feet touch. You can hover those hands. Breathe in. Now exhale, lower the hands, curl the toes under, press up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stepping the left foot forward, lower the right foot down. Hover or rise. Anjaneyasana. Good. You can bring the hands behind the head if you want, or Avalokiti, any way. Do you want to bring those arms up or down? And then exhale, fold it forward, curl the toes under, step the right foot to meet the left. Breathe out. Bend the knees, inhale, rise. Palms meet. Maybe a slight back bend, Pranamasana. Now back to our Tadasana. Good, inhale, arms above the head, Pranamasana, slight back bend. Exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Good, exhale, fold, you got it, guys. Breathe in. Now exhale, step it back. Let's find our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale, step the left foot forward. This time, lower that right knee down. Hover over the thigh. Lifting the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Good. Now this time, let's exhale to bring the hands down. Right hand plants on the block of the floor. Let's lift our left arm to sky. Breathe in. And out, maybe dropping into that right hip flexor, inhale. Exhale, that left hand comes down, move the block out of the way. Bring the right hand down, curl the toes under, step it back to downward facing dog. And then exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lifting the heart, lowering the thighs, hovering the hands, maybe baby cobra. Exhale, press down, curl the toes under, up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, right foot comes forward. Lower the left knee, that left hand stays down, and then we'll reach that right arm to sky. Nice job, guys. Breathing in and out. Maybe closing the eyes and feeling the freedom in this shape. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Curl the toes under. Let's step it back to downward facing dog this time. Exhale. Palms on the floor. Let's inhale, bring that left leg up, bend the knee, stack that left hip over the right. Maybe glancing under the right armpit and checking out that foot. Try to keep that chest pressing towards the thigh, so we're still pressing into the floor. Breathe in. Now exhale, lower that left foot down. Ground. Then inhale, lift that right foot to sky. Bend the knee, stack those hips opening towards the other side of the mat. And be making sure that you're still pressing the chest towards the thigh. Maybe you make a shape with that knee. And then we'll lower that right foot. Glance up with the hands. And now step both feet to the front of the mat. Bend the knees and inhale, rise. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, ground that left foot. Let's step our right foot back and pivot that right heel down so toes face the long edge. Now let's inhale, bring our arms out like a T. Yes. Let's warm up the body just a little bit. Maybe roll the shoulders back, that left knee maybe over a little bit so you can look at that big toe. And now let's inhale, straighten that leg, bring palms together. Maybe find the eagle mudra at the top, just join those thumbs. And then out, knee bends. Inhale, palms come together. And then we'll exhale, bend. Inhale, palms come together. Exhale, bend and lengthen through the arms. Good, now this time bring the hands down in front. Arms come in front of the shoulders. That left knee still bent. Left arm underneath, right arm on top. Find your eagle arms. Maybe backs the hands together or palms together. Breathe in. And breathe out. Warrior two base with this Garuda arms. Breathe in. And now let's exhale. Shift that left leg kind of straightens. Now bend that right leg. Pivot the left foot towards the long edge and come into your side lunge with eagle arms. Breathe in. Now exhale, move over to the left, eagle arms, skandasana, Lord of War pose. Over to the right, side lunge. Now let's pause here. Maybe you have that left foot to the ground. So maybe this time you lift the heart just a little bit and turn those toes to the sky, heel to the ground, opening up that leg just a little bit. Now exhale, bring that left foot to the ground. And then shift over to the left, exhale. Right foot's on the floor, so maybe you pivot those toes to the sky just a little bit, pressing that heel down, breathe in and out. Now exhale, ground that foot. Bring yourself to the middle, lifting up, straightening those legs. Now bring those heels in. Toes face out. Exhale down. Eagle arms in our Utthakata Konasana. You can press those arms and those hands together for just a breath. Activating the arms, noticing the shoulders. And now let's unleash, unwrap those arms, bring them out. Feel that freedom after that. Those arms, breathe in and out. Let's inhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms together. And exhale back to our goddess with the wings out. And then we'll inhale, rise, palms together, legs straighten. Good, then exhale, goddess pose, arms out, and pause. Option to find that Garuda mudra, left hand facing in, right on top. You can keep the legs bent, or maybe you lift up with the legs straight. Let's find some solace, some steady inner peace and freedom. Another breath in, another breath out. Let's inhale to rise up if you're in goddess. Exhale, point those toes towards the long edge. Let's release those arms out to the side. Utthita Tadasana. Breathe in. Exhale, bring those hands to the hips. Pivot the right foot towards the short edge. Now bend into that knee. And then settle into that Virabhadrasana 2 base. And then we'll open up the arms, short edge to short edge, and then glance over that front right hand. Breathe in and out. Now inhale, straighten, bring the palms together. Maybe you find a little mudra at the top, and then you bend and open again. Inhale, draw everything up and straight. Good, guys. Exhale. Really nice. Inhale, gather and straighten. Now let's exhale. Bending that knee, finding a little bit of stillness here. Now let's exhale, turn to face that. Keep the legs there, but turn the vision forward in the same direction of your heart. And now bring those arms in front. We'll find our Garuda arms on the other side. So the right arm underneath, left arm on top. Bring the hands together. Here's our Garuda arms. Let's breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. One more breath. Now exhale, pivot that right foot towards the long edge. So legs are straight, we've got our eagle arms. Now exhale, our skandasana to the right. Yes, now plant into that right foot. Bring that left foot a little closer to the right foot so you can balance on that right foot and draw that left knee up. So here we are, grounded on the right foot, left knee lifted. And now exhale, cross that left leg over the top of the right. Breathe in. And now maybe we fold it forward, the elbows meeting those knees. Breathe in. You can lift up into just an eagle pose. Or you can crunch it together. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. And now let's lift up to stand, straightening that right leg, unwrapping the left, sending that left foot back, hinging at the waist, Virabhadrasana 3. If you have a neighbor beside you, be mindful you don't kick him in the face. There you go, guys, right from mine. Hinging and hovering. And then when you're ready, let's inhale to find that freedom as we open up those wings. Lifting up out of that right hip socket. So maybe you're taller now as you lift up. Let's breathe in. And now gently begin to bend that knee. Bring the knee, left knee to meet the right knee as we bring those hands in to the body. Ground the left foot and we'll meet in our Tadasana. Pause. Let the breath go. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hands in front of the chest again, finding Garuda mudra. Inhale. Now exhale, let's step those feet wide again. So toes facing long edge. Yes. Breathing in and out. In and out. Inhale, float the hands up above the head. Release those hands. And then we'll bring those arms out in front. Bringing that right arm underneath this time, left arm on top. Let's exhale over to the left side lunge. Yes, and just for funsies, we're gonna go over to the right side again. Maybe you hover the heart over the ground, kind of bowing in on the inside of that knee. And then we'll lift the heart up, shoulders are kind of over the hips, and then we'll exhale over to the other side. When you get there, maybe you humbly bow, dropping the elbows and that chest on the inside of that left foot. Inhale to rise, shoulders over the hips. Now ground into that left foot, kind of sneak that right foot over so you can feel stable in that left foot before we draw that right knee up. And then we'll cross that leg over. And then once you get there, finding your expression of eagle. So maybe you crunch the knees and the elbows together. Maybe you stay lifted. In and out. You can press the hands, arms into one another for a little resistance. Let's breathe in. Now exhale, slowly begin to straighten that left leg as we unwrap the right leg. Hinge at the waist, don't kick the neighbor, send the right leg back. Virabhadrasana 3. Nice, guys, lifting up out of the hip socket. So the back is closer to the ceiling than it was a moment ago. And then we'll inhale and exhale to open up those eagle wings. Virabhadrasana 3. Perfect time. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath. Exhale to close those arms into the side of the body as we bring that right knee in. Shoulders over hips. Ground that right foot. Landing in Tadasana, maybe finding Garuda mudra if that feels right, or just resting the hands down at the side. Notice the beating of your heart. Breathe in. And then exhale, release the mudra. If you've got it in your hands, turn to face the front of your mat. Again, we'll sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold it forward, Tadasana. Inhale, let's find a flat back. Press those heels down and then rock into the balls of the feet. Reaching forward with the crown of the head. Now maybe bring that left hand to a block or to the floor in front of you, or just hover it. And we'll reach the right arm to the sky. Maybe you bend that left leg a lot and straighten the right, or maybe you do it the opposite way. But at least bend one leg, see what feels good for you. And then we'll bring the right hand down. And when you're ready, exhale to send the left arm to sky. Breathe in and out. And then exhale, bring both hands down. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Move that block to the left corner of your mat. Hang forward, let the head be heavy. Uttanasana. Deep breath in and out. And in and out. Bend the knees, rise all the way up to stand. Hands above the head, good. Exhale, fold it forward again. Let's inhale back to our plank pose. Maybe in our plank, we kind of roll over to the left side of the foot, the inside of the right foot. So the hips kind of sway over to the left. We'll bring it through the middle and then come onto the outside of that right foot, inside of the left, but you can kind of drop those right hips. And just kind of tick-tock back and forth if that feels good with you. If that doesn't feel quite right, maybe come to your back and just move those feet windshield wiper-ish side to side. Otherwise, that plank pose is for you. Kind of drop the hips, rolling onto the sides of the feet. And one more time to each side with your windshield wipering. Or you're doing your plank, and then come back to plank pose. Lower down the knees and let's sit back in child's pose. And if child's pose isn't for you today, then you have your puppy pose, your apanasana. Let's lengthen the back and slow the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Maybe rocking the right glute over to the right foot and then rocking that left glute over to the left foot. Just kind of going back and forth and noticing maybe the inner thigh responds with a little stretch. Because as you bring that right glute to the right heel, that left knee might kind of roll a little side to side. Now let's glance up at the fingertips and let's roll up. Coming onto our stomach. If you're in puppy pose, lower the forearms down, bring the legs long, and we'll meet, guys, with our elbows underneath our shoulders, palms face down. Some might call this Sphinx pose. The tops of the legs touch when we bring the feet mat distance apart. Elbows press down, hands are down. Now pull those elbows towards the hips towards the elbows. Feel the heart rise organically as you do that. That doesn't feel so sweet on the low back. Bring the elbows forward as much as you need to. Be here for a couple breaths. Now let's exhale. Lower down the belly, lower down the tops of the ribs. Now lower down the entire chest so everything's flat on the ground. And with that right leg, let's bend the knee and bring that right knee out to the side. Maybe it's as high as the hip, maybe it's lower. That right ankle kind of below the right knee. So this is like our tadpole on the ground. Let's just find a little bit of freedom here. And on an exhale, let's straighten that right leg out. So kind of send the foot down, draw the right knee in. On an exhale, press the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's find child's pose or puppy pose. And sinking the hips back. Just a breath. And then we'll come forward on our bellies again. Inhale. And exhale, lower. Hands underneath the forehead. Bringing that left knee out to the side. Left knee in line with that hip maybe, the ankle. Underneath that knee. A little tadpole on the other side or half frog. And another breath in. Exhale, breathe it out. And on an inhale, straighten that leg, drawing the foot down, the knee kind of in. And then once you get there, bring the hands to the outer side of the ribs. Now press down, and let's lift up to our upward facing dog. So coming under the tops of the feet. And if that doesn't feel right for you, if you prefer cobra, find cobra. Tops of the feet, thighs hover, and let's just sway side to side. And that upward facing dog. Just that gentle sway. Maybe feeling it in your wrists. Now maybe lower the thighs down, the knees down, slight back bend or keep those knees hovered. And then exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes under. Let's find downward facing dog. Exhale. Breathing in and out. Inhale, bring that right foot to sky, bend the knees, stack the hip. Maybe make your favorite shape with that knee. And lower that right foot down. Inhale, draw the left foot to sky, bend the leg, drop the hip over the right hip, stacking, and then make your favorite shape with that left knee. Drop that left foot down. Downward facing dog. Let's inhale, step the right foot forward, ground the ball, that left foot, rise up. Asha Chandrasana. Nice, guys. Maybe you really drop that left hip down. You can lower that left knee almost to a hover. That feels good on the front of that left leg. Or you can straighten through the ball of the foot and feel that response in the hip flexor. Let's breathe in. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Pull those hands back. And we'll exhale to hover over that leg. Maybe finding a humble warrior. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath in. Exhale, lifting the shoulders back over the arms. And now let's gently release the hands. Feel that freedom as those arms begin to float up. And when they stop, then you can bring your own strength in to draw them up over the head. Exhale, fold and forward, frame the foot, step the right foot back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You can move through for chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog, or maybe you do cobra. But meeting in downward facing dog. Nice, guys. Let's inhale, bring the left foot forward. Exhale to plant into that ball, the right foot, and we'll rise up. Finding that crescent lunge. Using this as an opportunity to open that right hip flexor. So maybe you really press and draw energy towards the ball of that right foot. Maybe you drop that right knee just a smidge and feel that response. Breathing. Now let's exhale, bring the hands behind the back again. Be finding the opposite thumb on top this time, or you just grab opposite elbows or hands to the hips. And when you're ready, exhale, fold. Bowing on the inside of that left leg. Humble warrior. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in. Exhale, lift the heart. With control, rising. And let's release those hands again, finding that freedom. And the hands rise. Now maybe bringing hands up above the head. Just for a moment. Lengthen through hips to armpits, armpits to fingertips. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. So maybe that means you move through plank, upward facing dog and cobra, meeting in downward facing dog, or child's pose, or puppy. When you get to your puppy or your child's pose or your downward facing dog, be there 5 breaths. And then bring that freedom of the Garuda, bringing that freedom into our space, into our vessel today. Two more breaths. Draw it in. Exhale, let it go. Now inhale, glance up at the hands, bring the right foot forward, lower that left knee down. And now let's drop that right knee out to the side, but bring that right foot far, far, far to the edge of the mat, coming into whatever expression of lizard works for you. So maybe that means you're on your hands, and that knee, and the pinky edge side of the foot is on the floor. Maybe that means you're on your forearms or blocks. And I know some of you like to turn that heart towards the knee and kind of drop into that hip and twist. So inviting some opening into the space. We're doing it with compassion. We're not forcing or torquing any shape here. We're freeing up energy within our being. Another breath in. Exhale to bring the foot to the floor. The knee comes in. Lift up onto your palms if you were on your forearms. And now let's send the hips back. And from our low lunge kind of setup, our hands are on the inside of the foot. But let's just kind of move the hips back and move forward. I'm just moving forward and back. Just for a couple breaths. And we'll exhale, plant the hands, bring your right foot to meet the left, or right knee to meet the left knee. Now step the left foot to the left side of the mat. Get that correct position for you with that right knee. And then we'll find our lizard on the other side. You know, some of you might want to curl the toes of the right leg under, have a little more active lizard. So however you come into your Rakiasana, little shout out to the dear babes iguana over there, or dragon, whatever that lizard is. Sorry, Rocky. But finding your lizard. Maybe noticing the cadence of your breath, the texture of your breath. Can you free up the breath here? Now let's lower that left foot to the ground. Cutting onto the palms if you need to, lowering that right knee if it was lifted. And then when you're ready, kind of bring that foot in, left foot in just a little, and then begin that gentle rock, forward and back. Forward and back. Yes. Find some stillness. Bring that left knee to meet the right. Now let's walk our hands forward, finding a puppy pose, dropping that heart down, sits bones to the sky. And exhale, lower those forearms. Come on to the elbows, those forearms lowering down the tops of the legs, fronts of the legs. Let's lift the heart Bring those elbows down, hands down, pull the elbows towards the hips, hips towards the elbows. Shalamba Bhujangasana. One more breath. Now exhale, lower down, stomach, those bottom ribs. Press the hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes under. Let's lift up to plank pose. And then lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, finding upward facing dog. Really reach those tops of the feet back. Toes reach back. So those hip flexors reach for the floor, but we lift up, press up out of the floor. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now inhale, step the right foot forward, the left foot to meet the right. Hips go back, rise up, Tadasana. Exhale, lower the hands to the heart. And pause here, maybe separating the feet, finding our breath, settling into our space. Now let's slowly begin to lower those sits bones, not quite in chair, kind of sort of in chair. And now exhale to ground into that left foot. Any variation with the hands to hold yourself steady. Let's bring that right knee up. Maybe we straighten that left leg a little bit to sweep the right ankle just on top of that left thigh, front of that knee. And then find your expression of your flying pigeon. So maybe your flying pigeon is just kind of standing with that knee there. So there's not much of a sit back. Maybe your flying pigeon sits back. Maybe your flying pigeon looks more like a tree pose. See how that hip opens no matter where my foot is, if it's there or if it's here. So we're inviting that freedom of possibility, just letting go. Maybe you want to open up those arms. And as you do, you sink down. Maybe you draw that chest closer to the shin. So when we were on our backs, that was us lifting our shoulder blades off, and we maybe feel it on the outer hip a little more. Yeah, you can stand up and come back in. One more breath. Let's gently rise. You can keep that ankle glued to the leg and just kind of bring that knee up to center and then unglue the foot, step it down. Shake it out. You can do some kidney slaps. Yeah. You got it, guys. We're pros at this by now. Maybe closing the eyes and feeling that freedom of the arms just going willy-nilly around. Oh, and watch for your neighbor. Maybe slowly winding down the kidney slaps, slowly, slowly. Like when that music box dancer needs to be rewound, just nice and slow. Find a steady heart, find some ground beneath your feet. Get those feet flying pig distance apart. Let's ground the right foot, bend the knee as much as you need to. Maybe you sit back just a little. Hands on hips to lift that left knee up. And then bring that left ankle on top of the thigh, just above that knee. And again, maybe you're more of a straight-legged flying pigeon. Remember, this is about freedom. We're not trying to make a prescribed shape. I'm going to open those hips just a little bit. Maybe you find Garuda mudra. Maybe your arms are out wide. And again, you can fold closer to that chest to the shin if you want. Let's draw in one more breath. And exhale to bring the hands towards the legs, standing straight, straightening that leg, ungluing that ankle, bringing the knee up. And the leg comes down. Maybe you point the toes out and kind of rock foot to foot. Slowly coming into stillness. Now let's inhale, arms come above the head. Exhale, folding forward. Now let's step it back to plank pose, only as a means to lower down onto our stomachs. So coming down tops of the legs. Now maybe with your head on the floor, bring those feet to the sky again. And then just windshield wiper those legs one side to another side. And then when those feet come to the middle, you can lower those legs down. Exhale to roll over onto our backs. Put your shoulder blades on the earth. Let's bring the soles of our feet together, and maybe we bring blocks underneath our knees, finding our Supta Baddha Konasana. Letting the heart drop into the back of the body. Letting our breath slow. From your Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe you keep that left leg bent and you send that right leg straight for a reclined tree, but only if you want to come out of your reclined butterfly. And if you do, let that right leg, that right foot kind of fall wherever it falls, out or in. And after soaring around like an eagle, beginning to ground, maybe some heaviness connecting this maybe fallen tree, this earth beneath us, just really noticing it, bringing it into our space. And maybe you send that left leg long. If you were in reclined tree with that left knee bend, maybe bend the right knee here, left leg long. And whenever you're ready, finding your savasana, maybe you're already there. Dropping into the space. Dropping into freedom. We're going to go a few minutes over today. If anybody has anywhere to go, I'll let you know when it's 11:45. Otherwise, if you have the time in your morning, you might go about 5 minutes long. Just a heads up. As we drop into this freedom, maybe noticing the freedom of the breath. Maybe our next exhale, we can release the need to constantly be doing. Release the need to constantly be achieving. And feel the ease and relaxation of just being. Feel yourself appreciating the simple things. Maybe feeling each moment as an opportunity to live fully and joyfully. In your next breath, you naturally attune more deeply to your own inner being, surrendering to life. Surrendering to the experience of being alive. Maybe your next breath, you begin to notice your fingertips, your toes. Maybe notice your nose, your lips. And feel the breath, feel your being. Maybe you remain on your back, or if you're ready, you can come to a seated position. Just feel the freedom wherever you land, whether you remain in savasana or you land in a seated position. Let's exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Namaste.